Well, hi there. So what I did last night was put this flap top piece on the to cover up the box, and this was done in exactly the same way as the bottom section, except that this part obviously is not glued down. And what I've done is I've cut through one section of the Correx so that that upper piece is then glued down, and this is 25mm here, and I went for 12mm, 12mm and 10mm here, and it makes a nice hatch with all of our gear inside. You can see there's plenty of space for wires and anything else we might want to put in there. So the plan today is to fit the these two items. We've got video transmitter and receiver. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put one out in the wing and one out in the other wing. It's very simple, basic procedure, and so what I'll do is I'll just set up and I will be back in a few seconds. Okay, so what I've done here is I've got some masking tape down on the underneath of the wing, and this is our transmitter, and I've drawn round it. What will obviously happen is that the antenna will poke through underneath, go through a hole here, and so this will be on the bottom, but just to like draw around it, I've just put it up like that. So then the trick is to then use our friendly friends, the knife and pliers, and we're just going to cut this out. So I'll do that and fast forward through this part as well. Okay, so that's pretty much good. We want to get it down underneath so that a piece of Correx, what we're going to do is make a Correx lid for this part here. So what I'll do now is I'll just I'll just cut a lid for it. I'll show you that. This has to be, you have to put it that way round, so obviously we need it hinging up this way. So if we go to about there, and with our pen we just mark to about there, so get it square. That is 46mm there. That's 46 to there. And then what we want to do is, what I've done here is I've been there and done that, as they say, but I've got plenty of space here, and that's for the connectors so that you can pull them out. In fact, I might even give it to about there. So on the back of the transmitter I've given it, what, 15mm. Oh, hold on. Yeah, it's 20mm, so that you can pull, sort of do a trial test. If you've got, imagine that is going to be in the plane, and it's not glued in or anything, but it's like, let's just get that out and then I'll do the test. Okay, so here we are again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a channel sort of like this out to the central electronics bay. So that wire is going to sort of go through like that, and there's going to be a flap here. If I just cut, let's just see, which one was it? Was it that one? Yeah, that's it. Just extend that a bit more. That's too long, but that will just give us an indication of the of what's going on. So if I put it like that, so what I'm doing is I'm just cutting through one of the sections, and you can, if you use the knife sort of like that, then you won't cut through the second one. So that's going to be sitting like that, and we'll just do a test to see if we can get that out. And I need 3 fingers, I need 3 hands. Probably not best to use a knife. And then we can just, you can see we can get that out quite nicely. So that would be floating there, and then that means we can take the transmitter out and put it into another plane if we want to do that. The whole object of this, the way in which I want to set this one out, and obviously I don't suggest you do exactly the same as me, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make hatches for everything. The transmitter, the receiver, all the central electronics, which we've already done, and the camera. There's not going to be any pan on the on this one. I'm not going to have a pan on the camera, but it's just going to be taped down, and I'll show you how I do that later on. But the reason for all of that is because then if you want to, you know, it means that you don't have to keep buying OSDs, cameras and things like that. You can just buy one set, and then you can transfer it out into a different plane, and that's great because, you know, if you've got a setup that's working, then well, why? Well, obviously, if you can afford to get a new set, which is great, but if you this way, we're sort of trying to be a bit more economical. Right, so what I'm doing now is I just draw around this, and let's see, we want to take that to about, let's see, to about there. So the same exactly the same procedure. We are just going to cut this out and then cut it down so that the correct sheet is going to be flush. Okay, so what I've got is the fitting hatch here, and that will open up, and the transmitter fits inside. And what I've got is I've cut a slot here for the wires to exit, and what I will do in a second is I'll hot glue that down, and I've just checked that I can put that wire through there and give it a bit of a poke, and that will, you know, with a little bit of what they call jiggery pokery, I can then, with that in place, I can get wires through. Alright, so I will hot glue that on. And there we go, there's our little transmitter bay. Now the procedure for the receiver is exactly the same. Just make sure you give yourself enough space for the pins to come out. And the next task is to cut a channel from here all the way through to the electronics bay up here. So what obviously we need is connection between these two points, and I will just reset up and I'll show you that section now too. Okay, so what we've got here is I've put another piece of masking tape down and I've cut myself off a length of Corex that is 15mm wide. Now the plan is to run a section of this Corex between the transmitter bay and the electronics bay. So what I have decided to do on this particular one is run a removable like tray piece here that we can replace the entire cable if we wanted to, and really it's a good idea, because then if you've got any problems down the road, you can you know, the cable is something that you can change. Okay, so what I've done is I've put the masking tape down, drawn down on, and then I will cut it out. So I'll then fast forward this part again and you'll see it's obviously the same technique as before. Okay, welcome back. So what I've done is I've just covered this in masking tape and then coloured it in black so that you can see it a lot easier. But that's my Corex lid, and I've slotted it out, and that will then obviously fit on, and we can then channel out a section of this all the way along. I'll show you a small part. We just channel it out, and then our wires will travel along here, and at any point in time we can take the wires out to check them, service them, change them, whatever. Okay, well, the procedure is exactly the same for the receiver out on the other end of the wing. Exactly the same, and what we're going to do up here is we're just going to bore through here and connect a hole with the internal section of the electronics bay. If you do it at about 45 degrees or so, if I just push that through there, you can see it's now come through the into the electronics bay area. Alright, so that's the plan, is to then feed the wires from the electronics bay up to the transmitter bay via this channel. Okay, well, what I'll do is I'll off camera I'll do the other side for the receiver, and then we'll be in a position to start putting the reinforcement tape on the plane, and then we'll go through that. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a while. Bye.